Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening. When I post this out into the big wide world outside of my group, welcome. It's Friday question of the week. I hope this video finds you well. I'm going to read the question, which I hope you can potentially see if you're in my group, but I'm going to read it out. And this week, the question has come from Kaylee. So the question is, I watched the replay last night, and firstly, well done, Charli. I found it super interesting with the yin and the yang. Thank you for explaining so beautifully. I have both PCOS and endometriosis, from a very young age, although not diagnosed until I had a contortion of the ovary at 23. Now, what Kayla's referring to is in my circle community, I did a masterclass called The Wisdom of Your Cycle, and we were talking about the yin and the yang and the cycles that women go through. And what Kayla goes on to say is, anyway, I feel an internal wave which goes from, I should be more grateful and humble and appreciate my life and everyone and everything in it, and need to be more content and just relax and go with the flow. I want more. I'm not happy. I'm bored. There may be more out there. I feel this is also related to yin and yang. I know I don't need to feel like I should be anything. This is my little fucker. So is my truth, I do want more, when on paper, I have what most people probably dream of. What more could I want? Any guidance appreciated. My little dogs always go off when I do these, so I hope you can hear me and there isn't a pause in the sound. So just for reference, I call the mind and what goes on in the mind the little fucker. So any voice or narrative that you hear that sounds like your voice is a little fucker when it takes you away from your greatness, from your desires, from your passion, from your longings, from your truth. It takes the form of self-doubt and not good enoughness, and keeps us small and keeps us in fear, keeps us insecure, and isn't telling you anything that's true. So I call that the little fucker. I'm sure you know it well. I'm sure many of you know it well. I'm sure many of you relate to that voice as if it were the truth. It's not the truth. So Kaylee is asking, what she says is she feels like she should be more grateful and humble and appreciative in order to be more content. So any voice that tells you you should be doing something, you should be feeling something, the shoulda, woulda, coulda committee that fills us often with shame and blame and guilt because we're not doing what we should be doing, is coming from a little fucker. You do not need to do an action or be a certain way to be content. Contentment comes from knowing who you are inside is enough right now. Kaylee's expressed in her question that she thinks she wants more from life. She says she's not happy and that she's bored, that there must be more out there in the world, because something within her doesn't feel settled with how she is right now in this moment. So that little voice that's telling you that you need more, that you should be more, that contentment is out there in the world, there must be something more out there in the world, is lying to you. Because there's nothing out there in the world that's going to give you something that you've already got, something that's already within you. And we're conditioned by the world, by society, by the media, by social media to believe that something out there is better than what we've got in here. We're not taught to look within to what's true about our uniqueness, about ourselves. We're not trained to listen to our voice of truth, our voice of intuition. We're treated and trained to be often people pleasers and yes people, and to get our validation from the things out there in the world. Now, is there more out there? No. Is there more in here for you? Yes. The journey that I want to encourage you to reflect on, Kaylee, is that when you stop looking out there for something that you can find inside, that is where you will find your gold. That is where you will find your contentment. Being okay with what is right now, present, and presence. You've also said, is my truth, I want more. I think your truth is that you want to connect to what's true about you. Because yes, on paper, you said, I have what most people probably dream of. What more could I want? And I get asked this so many times. I have everything in my life that I've ever dreamed of on paper, on the outside. Why am I still unhappy? And that's because happiness, true contentment, true fulfillment doesn't come from anything out on the outside. It doesn't come from money, financial security, job status, marriage status, child status, house status. It comes from a deep connection, opening of your own wisdom, of your own sense of self. When we look out there in the world, we often find ourselves comparing ourselves negatively or positively, but mostly negatively. The little fucker's doing a brilliant job telling you a story of why that person over there's got a better life than you, or that person over there's got a better life than you. That little fucker is lying to you. And we spend so much time consuming other people's lives on social media, comparing ourselves negatively, and then asking ourselves why we're not happy, because I've got this, this, and this that other people would only dream of. The truth is, it's never going to come from those places. You might feel happy in a moment, and by all means, of course, practice looking for the tiny little joys, your family, your friends, your house, your children, your job. Enjoy everything that you do and the people in it. By all means, practice looking for the glimmers in your life. But practice looking to yourself as enough. Practice listening to that wiser part of you that knows. Because the part of you that's asking the question is the little fucker, because you're making yourself wrong and bad because you don't feel grateful. There's nothing wrong with not feeling grateful. There's nothing wrong with any feeling or emotion, as long as you don't relate to it and make yourself bad because of it, because it's always going to be moving and passing through you anyway. And you'll have a certain narrative and a story where you get to make yourself wrong all of the time, or bad, or I should be, or I could be. And so then your brain gets to be right about your theory about yourself, which isn't true. The truth is the truth when all of the emotion has been stripped away. Who you are underneath all of those things is just perfect right now, with all the experiences, which of course are changeable. Be gentle with yourself if you're not feeling grateful, but please know, if you want more, it's because of a desire to get to know yourself better as you are right now without changing a single thing. The more that you need comes from within you, not from something on the outside. We often chase our tails looking for more, looking for more, looking for more. There must be more. It must be easier. It must be this. It should be this. It could be this. I mean, I sold my entire life because of that innocent belief, looking in the wrong place, only to find that I came back to myself when everything else was stripped away. It's you that you're looking for. It's you that has the answers. And it's you that is longing for connection with you. Careers change, relationships can change, our children grow. We can move houses, we can move countries, we can move counties. But what you're always left with is you. And to scratch that itch of believing that there's more out there, it's within. There's more within. There's more uncovering of you. There's more to learn about you and your connection to you. And that is how you get more. That is the paradox. You look within and you unravel what's true, and you unravel the conditions and the people pleasing and the ways that we have innocently gone through our lives because we've been looking on the outside for something that is always within. I hope that helps. Thank you for the question. Thank you for allowing me to share the answer and the question with the wider world. And I'll be back next week. If you have a question for me, for the question of the week, which is once a week, usually live in my free group, the Freedom Group, which you can find on Facebook. In my circle group, I do a monthly Ask Me Anything, and I answer all the questions that come in. And so, as I said earlier, Kaylee had been listening to my masterclass, The Wisdom of Your Cycle. I do a masterclass in my circle community every month, and we have group coaching in there and lots of other juicy goodness. So you'd be very welcome to join me and my little tribe, which is more intimate than this wider Facebook community. If you have any questions, let me know. At the time of recording this, it's Friday, 8th of September. Starting from next week in this group, in the Freedom Group, I'm going to be starting my live coaching sessions, the one-to-one live coaching sessions, which will be live streamed into this group. If you're interested to watch any of the past live coaching sessions, they can be found under guide number 2 in the Facebook community. I'll create some events, and the brave ladies who put their hand up for live coaching, I'm deeply honoured. Lots of love. Let me know if you hear anything in this. I'll see you next week.